When it comes to the year of 2024, with the movies that we've gotten this year, I gotta say it's pretty inconsistent with the quality we've been reaching. For example, we got dumb fun popcorn flicks like Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, just kinda there for your entertainment, nothing really else, and kinda does the entertainment very well done. Then we got some really well-written gems in this year, like A Quiet Place Day 1 or Inside Out 2, kind of pushing past what we thought was expected, and both turning out to be very well written and very surprisingly satisfying movies. And then we have our bad movies, like the cream of the crop of trash and boring nonsense. Something like Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and specifically that before I get into another one that I really did not like, but a movie that is insanely boring and just very unfocused, feeling like a complete waste of time throughout each second that you watch it, as you count down the literal seconds until this movie is done. Now, what I find weird about this entire year is the fact that if I had a nickel for every time this year in 2024, a bald, white, middle-aged guy made a fourth entry in a beloved franchise that is the worst in the entire franchise, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but like it's still weird that it happened twice. And yes, of course, I'm talking about my second most popular video on this channel about the chameleon from Kung Fu Panda 4, and what this video is going to be talking about, Maxime Le Mal from Despicable Me 4. Now, there's probably a debate of which villain is worse than the other in terms of writing quality and just quality in general of how, they portray them. But hey, we can learn from bad things, and today I'm going to be talking about how Maxime Le Mal shows us how to write a boring villain.
Luca! Bueno? Piñu!
I would just like to say that Ennui's video is going to come Wednesday. I specifically said that this was going to come on Sunday because, it's kind of newer. It's going to be fresh in people's mind more than Inside Out 2, but Ennui is still coming, so look out for that Wednesday. Really quick, make sure to like if you want to see more like this, or if you want to see the Ennui video Wednesday. Let's get this video to 500 likes for today's like goal. And make sure to comment any suggestions for future videos. Thanks. Before Despicable Me 4 actually even came out, I made a video talking about how this could actually be a very good movie, and I'm really sad that it's not. I feel like a fool in every single way possible, and I gotta say, at least I wasn't wrong about one thing, and that's that, spoiler alert for the rest of this video, Maxime Le Mal wants to kidnap Gru's son, and also that Gru wants to spend quality bonding time with him. But when it actually comes to Maxime Le Mal, I gotta say, what went wrong? What was the thought process behind any of this? You have a guy that has been teased in all of the trailers to be something very evil. He gets an award in the beginning of the movie for being the most evil. But the thing that he is he's just a cockroach. And I know he says that they're indestructible or whatever. But when you think about it, why a cockroach? And speaking of this, why is being a cockroach evil? Is it just because everybody naturally hates them? Or is it the fact that they didn't really want to write any way of getting themselves out of, hey, why is the villain a villain? Oh yeah, they're a cockroach, that's why. Because that makes sense. And just like Kung Fu Panda 4, the chameleon kicks somebody down a flight of stairs. That is the most evil thing that they do in this entire movie. The most evil thing that Maxime Le Mal does throughout the entirety of Despicable Me 4 is turn a guy into a cockroach. He literally doesn't do anything else besides that. His entire premise is that he's hunting Gru down for ratting him out to the AVL. And as somebody that thinks that home invasions and also being hunted down by somebody that you can't stop yourself is extremely scary, I think that there was a very good chance that they could have gone an entirely different route with Maxime Le Mal and made it much better. But they didn't. And instead of that, their entire hunting process for looking for Gru is just them going cross country. That's it. There's nothing exciting about that. They're literally going to get gas in one of the scenes. There's nothing exciting about that other than the fact that they say, oh yeah, you gotta pull it out really quickly. Do not take that out of context. You gotta pull the credit card out really quickly so that you can actually receive the payment. Why is this in the movie? What point of this cockroach man going hunting down after the main protagonist and his family and new kid going to get gas? Like, I know that they just wanted to make this little joke that kind of spreads throughout the entire scene and to also show that Maxime Le Mal can, like, you know, make people into cockroaches. It's like the middle of the movie and you haven't done anything else besides the beginning of the movie where you broke out of prison. That's the last thing that you did. There is an entire big section of this movie that we're just kind of watching you fly around looking for Gru without even any idea of where he could even be.
Bueno.
There's no actual hunt going on here. It makes his entire side plot extremely boring when all he's doing is looking through binoculars and getting gas. Like, what is even the point of having a villain that is a cockroach if he's not going to actually, like, do anything cockroachy? They should have made him some sort of other animal, something faster, something more exciting, so that the hunt is a lot more personal and that as along the way, when Maxime Le Mal finds more and more evidence of where Gru could possibly be, it makes it a lot more engaging to see him get closer and closer to Gru, with Gru not even knowing. Also, where's the final battle of this movie? Something that it had been building up to for the entirety of it, even in a really boring idea, there was still some concept to this that could have been cool. We see Maxime Le Mal break out of a highly dangerous prison. I mean, we don't actually see it, we just see a camera footage of it, but that's it. He has the potential to be something actually entertaining and engaging to watch as he tracks down Gru. But he doesn't, and especially in the end, when all he does is has to walk out of his big cockroach machine, look at the door, and then see the baby just kind of come out. Like, where's the fight scene that Gru's trying to protect his son from Maxime Le Mal? Where's the point that we get to see Gru struggle with this, and then all of a sudden have that exhilarating moment where he stands up to Maxime Le Mal in the final end? In each of the other fights in the Despicable Me franchise, this has the satisfying moment where Gru finally stands up and becomes a lot more powerful than he was from the previous movie, realizing something that he's learned along the way. This is what made the previous final battles in the rest of the 3 movies, yes, even number 3, good and entertaining and engaging. But this one literally has none of that. There's no build up to Maxime Le Mal. He has no introduction to his character. He just has an award for being evil. Doesn't really show why he's evil, he just kind of shows himself to be a cockroach, but that's it. He says that he's hunting down Gru, but then decides to go cross-country, doesn't look for evidence of where he could possibly be, and just crosses his fingers that he'll just suddenly spot him on his binoculars. He doesn't do anything throughout this movie to actually assert him as a villain worthy enough for Gru, because Gru can easily beat him. An award saying that he's a villain doesn't mean anything to the audience if we don't exactly know why he deserves this. And giving a kind of a half answer at best in this movie of him just being a cockroach doesn't do anything. There's no reason why he should exist, why he's actually evil, or anything like that. There is a serious lack of any care and attention from the previous movies that could have been applied to Maxime Le Mal. So in the end, we just got a boring villain with an interesting concept but doesn't do anything with that concept. A lot of the same issues of the chameleon from Kung Fu Panda 4 are present in Maxime Le Mal. And I think it's pretty weird that both these movies are 4th movies in a franchise. It's definitely up for debate if Despicable Me 4 is actually a good and entertaining movie. That's perfectly up to your decision. You should go see this movie if you want your own opinion on this. Don't just listen to me just because I say it's bad. I make points of why I think it's bad, but in the end, you might think it's completely better than what I have to say. So with that, thank you everybody for watching. I'm Enchanted on Wednesday. Bye.